You've probably heard the term VPN thrown around all the time, right? But what does it actually do? And why does everyone seem to think they're so important? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this powerful tool. We're going to break down what it is, how it really works, and why it's become pretty much essential for anyone who cares about their online security. So, let's dive right in.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about the internet's big open secret. You know, the problem that VPNs were built to solve. Then, we'll define what a VPN actually is, get into the real reasons you'd want to use one, and look at how it works under the hood. And we'll wrap it all up by talking about its role as your own personal digital privacy shield.
Okay, so to really get why a VPN is such a big deal, you first have to understand the problem it's solving. And it all boils down to something most of us never think about: how our information actually travels across the internet. Here's the thing. Every time you go online, your data is sent from your phone or your computer out into the world. And on that journey, it's pretty exposed. Your internet service provider, the company you pay every month for Wi-Fi, they can see all the websites you visit. And if you're on public Wi-Fi at a cafe or an airport, oh yeah, other people on that same network could potentially snoop on what you're doing. It's way less private than most people realize.
You know, a perfect way to picture this is with snail mail. Using the internet without a VPN is exactly like sending a postcard. Anyone who gets their hands on it along the way, the mailman, the person at the post office, they can just read your message. But using a VPN, that's like putting that same message inside a sealed envelope and then putting that envelope inside a locked metal box. The only person opening it is the one it's meant for.
So, how do we get that locked box for our digital information? Well, that leads us straight to the solution, the VPN.
Officially, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and really its whole purpose is right there in the name. It creates a private network for you, but it does it virtually using the regular old public internet. Think of it as your own personal secure tunnel for all your data to travel through.
So here's where the magic really happens. A VPN takes all of your internet traffic and just scrambles it using a process called encryption. It basically turns your data into a secret code that nobody can read. Then it sends that scrambled, coded data through its private tunnel, making it completely unreadable to anyone who might be trying to peek.
Okay, we get what a VPN is now, but why should you actually care? What's in it for you? Let's get into the 3 core benefits.
It really comes down to these 3 big things. First, you've got privacy. A VPN hides your IP address. That's like the unique mailing address for your device online. By hiding it, you're masking your location and what you're browsing. Second is security. This is huge, especially on public Wi-Fi. That encryption we talked about protects your passwords, your bank details, all that sensitive stuff. And third, there's access. A VPN can make it look like you're browsing from a totally different country, which lets you get to websites or streaming content that might be blocked where you are.
All right, let's peek under the hood a little bit. It might sound super technical, but I promise the process is actually pretty straightforward when you break it down step by step.
So it all kicks off the second you turn on your VPN app. Instantly, that app creates that encrypted, secure tunnel to a VPN server somewhere in the world. From that moment on, all of your internet activity is sent through that tunnel. This hides your real IP address from every website you visit. And finally, that server goes out, gets the info you wanted from the website, and sends it back to you, still safe and sound inside that secure tunnel. It's a full private loop for your data.
Okay, so we've looked at the problem, the solution, the benefits, and how it all works. After all that, what's the one big idea you should walk away with?
At the end of the day, it all comes back to this one concept. A VPN is your digital privacy shield. That's what it is. It takes those wide-open postcards of your data and locks them up tight, turning what was a public broadcast into a private conversation.
And all this really leaves us with one big question to think about. As more and more of our lives move online, what is the actual value of our digital privacy? And what are we really willing to do to protect it? Thanks for tuning in.